Well, hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. How is everybody doing today? I am live, I am here, and most importantly, Kabam is not.
I am.
And my wife is a bed.
Fucky.
Alright. So, who do we got here already? What's up, the Jiggles? What's up, Bakchi? What's up, everybody else? Alright, live stream alert. We are here. Where is the live stream? Do I need to refresh? You're late. I am not late. I am not late. How dare you even suggest? Come on. Okay, we'll leave that. That's that. Live stream, that's fine. We need to do this on mute. You're supposed to start 5 minutes before? No. Stream was not set to start 5 minutes before. Stream was set to start exactly when I started. Your neediness for my face is on you. What's up, newbie? What's up, Samknut? Alright, cool name. Cool name. Oh, watch for the drops. There are some drops. There's a... Alright. They're getting profile picture in drops. Evidently so. And an emote and nothing else of value though. Alright, it's fine. Alright, I should probably unmute them. I don't really want to.
Shut up and take my money.
Oh, Harshik. Be nice.
At Harshbar we're won
I'm always
449 rupees. Be nice.
I'm like the nicest person you know. Top 5 anyway.
Alright, what is going on, Summoners? We are back here today for another official Marvel Contest of Champions live stream. I am your host, Kabam-asaurus Rex, aka Karate Mike, whichever one you want to do. There was a nice flash on the screen there. How about that? Some nice fireworks today to start this beautiful Wednesday off. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We're going to have a nice, fun stream going all over our new game mode, Towers. I cannot wait to share all the exciting details with all of you at home. It's going to be a fun time today. Now, listen, there is just one rule in the chat today. It's the same one that we have all the time. All we got to do is be nice, all right? Listen, I'm going to be nice to you. You're going to be nice to me. We're all going to have a nice, fun time together. We got a couple announcements to go over first, a couple things to talk about, and then we're going to dive super deep into Towers. Today we have a very special guest as well. But before we get into that, let's start talking about some things coming here. So, for the June 10th live stream, it's going to be all about Towers, okay? That's going live in just 1 week. We are 7 days out from our newest massive game mode, going live to the contest. Buffed Thor Ragnarok, he's now claimable in that new Champions tab if you've been collecting observance from Twitch drops over the past couple of months. The Incursions for the Pump It Up Saga is going live in about 1 hour, so get ready. That's going to be a really fun and exciting one.
So we're going to play Incursions live, by the way.
The Mysterium store has just recently been updated. And Spider-Ham is sizzling over to an Ascension pool near you within the next couple of weeks. Now listen, these things are coming soon, but what's coming even sooner, except for that Incursions thing, which is happening today, is towers. So we're going to talk about that today. But first, as always, if you are not linked up for your Twitch drops, you got to make sure you do that, my friends, because there are an absolute ton of fantastic rewards in Twitch drops. This is just a little snapshot of the past month and a half and a bit, really, of all the fantastic things that you can get from Twitch drops. There is
okay, that's on me.
Observance, rank up gems, empowered crystals, rebirth crystals, some energy, a bunch of other stuff as well. Make sure you go in and link up your account there because you do not want to miss this stuff at all.
This one's on me.
All right, we're missing. I think we gotta get the face cam back up, man. There we go. There we go. All right. So you gotta go into your settings here, connect it up, make sure you're linked up so all of the stuff goes right to your account in Marvel Contest of Champions. And of course, here at the.
Oh, come on. We're gonna restart this. We're gonna close a few unnecessary tabs. I definitely do not need this anymore. I do not need.
For your chance to win one of 5 of those greater empowered crystals or a champion of your choice between the newest champions in June, Phylavel or Shatterstar. Now, if you're new to the contest, if you're finding this Twitch stream for the first time on the home page, if you're just seeing that we were streaming, a bunch of people, 25,000 in chat hanging out, you wanted to come and hang out with us today, and you want to download the game, hit this QR code right over here. Let's get that back up there. Download that. Hit that QR code and come play with us. Towers, our newest game mode, is going to be open to all progression levels.
Stay away.
What that means is that if you download the game today, when Towers goes live in 7 days, you're going to be able to jump in and play it right away. That is extremely exciting. A lot of our content is typically geared towards like progression level 5 or like mid-level and higher, right? This is something that's going to be there from the very beginning of the game. We're very excited for it. We can't wait to see what this does to the game. It's going to be a great thing, and we can't wait to talk about it. But before we do, we got to pump it up just a little bit because we have some Saga content to talk about, some things that are going live, some things that went live, and a couple things to talk about as well, including this right here, MCOC at SDCC. That is right. On July 23rd through the 26th, MCOC is going to be a part of the Marvel Games Lounge at the Marriott during San Diego Comic-Con. Now, this is a little event that we're going to be running. It's free to attend. Come stop by and say hi if you're in the area. If you're attending San Diego Comic-Con, come on and hang out with some of your fellow summoners, play some special towers in person, maybe win some prizes, maybe there'll be a wheel. Who knows? If you want to come and hang out with some of your fellow summoners, play MCOC in person with some friends, this is a great time to do that. We'll have some more details about this as we get closer to the event, so stay tuned to all of our social channels. We have a stream at the very beginning of July for our July build. We'll be talking a lot more about this there, but we can finally say that, hey, we are going to be there. It's not going to be huge like New York Comic Con in the past. It's not going to be a big like Summoners Fest level event, but it is going to be a nice little booth that we have where we can come and hang out and play MCOC together. So if you are in the area, I'm going to be there. Come on over, say hi. It's going to be a great time. Now, another thing that is a great time is the new Mysterium update. Now, Mysterium has had a very interesting place in Marvel Contest of Champions for a very, very long time. It's kind of always been like that wild card in between currency that's always had its ups and downs. But right now, I feel like Mysterium is in a really fantastic place. Just last week, there was a massive update to Mysterium where if you are an Elder Summoner, all purchase limits for every item in the store are completely removed. Now, in the past, Mysterium has not had that super premium, item to purchase. And there still isn't the Tier 5 Alpha, the Tier 4 Alpha, Tier 7 Basic. However, if you are Elder, we did add Tier 6 Basic and Tier 3 Alpha to the store. So it does give you something to work towards for your relevant rank ups. We're going to be needing those resources to rank up your 7 stars to the highest ranks right now. If you're not interested in like ranking up your 4 stars and your 3 stars, which is what the store is mostly geared to be. Speaking of that, we've also added in T5CC and Tier 5 Basic Catalysts as well. right? So I think this is a very, very nice update to the store, and it puts a lot of freedom into the currency that kind of lets you either invest kind of like into the past in a way, build out that 4-star and 3-star roster, or kind of utilize it to build out your 7-star roster even further. And hey, if you're a Valiant and above summoner, we also put in Tier 4 class Catalyst selectors. Remember back in the day how tough Tier 4 class Catalysts were to get? Now you could just jump into the Mysterium store, pick one up for like 80 Mysterium. Absolutely insane stuff. Speaking of Valiant as well, purchase limits were significantly increased as well. And going on down the progression list, we kind of like adjusted the purchase limits, you know, based on where we think it should be for that specific level. But if you get to Elder, if you get all the way to the top, those limits are completely removed.
Come on, lads.
All right. The Coliseum is raging on right now as well. Juggernaut has been an absolute punching bag over the past 2 days. The amount of health bars being taken off this guy is absolutely insane. We have 1 day left of the Alliance Coliseum for June, and that's going to be starting in about 45 minutes, where the hero, coda, and dimensional being tags will be the prime real estate that you want to look into. So if you picked up a new spot during Metamorphosis for dimensional being, he might be pretty solid there. Future Ant-Man might be pretty cool as well, hitting at least 2 of those tags, and plus those updated rewards are looking pretty nice. Now, every single time you run Alliance Coliseum, like people are constantly asking me when are the rewards coming out. They typically come out the following Tuesday or Wednesday. This one's probably going to stay with the Wednesday cadence. We're going to take some time to vet the leaderboard, make sure it's all linked up properly so we can send this out, and we're going to be good to go. So stay patient on this one. It's definitely not going to come this week. We can expect it around Wednesday of next week. But speaking of Alliance Coliseum, in July, we're going to be doing something a little bit different than we have in the past. We have a special week-long Alliance Coliseum featuring Corvus Glaive as the Alliance Coliseum boss. Now, this is not going to be the new standard. I want to make that very clear, but this is going to be a special event for July with some extra bells and
I don't think my drop's even working right now.
This event, but this is going to be split up over 7 days. There's still going to be 3 sets of tags, and these are the tags that are going to be active during these days in case you have some rank up gems or resources burning holes in your pocket, and you want to kind of plan out your rank ups to like what will most benefit you in your alliance activities, in your competitive gameplay, and all of that kind of stuff as well. So take a screenshot if you want to take a look at this later on. We'll talk much more about this event as we get closer. We do have a stream a couple of days before this goes live. Stay tuned for more of those juicy details. Speaking of juicy details, we also have something pretty fun going live in about, like I said, 47 minutes here. The Pump It Up Incursions, I'm very excited for this. This is going to be a little shake-up to the usual Incursions game mode with the goal to add some more predictability. Now, we all know that there are a lot of different aspects of Incursions. The worst part is when you get completely roadblocked by RNG and you have to start over, and you kind of lose all your progress there. But the best part is kind of building out an absolutely massive, insane build with all of the boss hacks and everything else and supercharging your champions. So we really want to dig into that and kind of like make this more so about adding the predictability with some easier like sub-bosses and putting a consistent challenge throughout the whole entire thing. The major RPG threat that you want to plan around for this saga is going to be Unstoppable, specifically with Emma Frost, Adam Warlock, and Lizard holding down the fort in those challenge zones, okay? So there's going to be more boss hacks. There's going to be a lot of other things to go through. There are going to be some special class-based boosts if you have 7-star Ascended champions on your team. Remember, this is the Pump It Up Incursion, so every saga champion is ascendable. And if they actually are ascendable, they get some extra bonuses too. So throw in your Ascended champions, have some fun. It's going to be a good time. Also, we added back that 7-star Incursion crystal to Zone 15, so it's not only in the Radiant store or the Loyalty Market on the web store anymore. This is going to be directly inside the content, which I think is pretty great, right? So if you're missing Hulkbuster, Ronin, Namor, Captain America, Infinity War, Mojo, or Angela, this is where you can get one of those 6 champions from that crystal. All right, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but Thor Ragnarok, the 7-star chase is not starting now. The 7-star is starting now because
well, that's the thing.
if you've watched all of the Twitch streams from the launch of Observance, you should have now 50 Observance from this past Friday to go and claim that 7-star buff.
Like,
Thor Ragnarok first appearance is going to be available for about another month until July 8th in the new Champions tab here. After that, it's going to be replaced with a regular 7-star Thor Ragnarok. He's not going anywhere, Observance is not going anywhere, and in the future, you will also be able to trade in 30 Observance for Ascension Level 1 and 60 for Ascension Level 2. So keep on watching those Twitch streams, keep on claiming those Observance, and you're going to be able to get that Thor ranked up and leveled up as well, which is pretty exciting. Thor's a fun guy. He's a fun time. All right, man, that's the content coming soon, but we got one more thing to talk about, something that we kind of teased a little bit last time, and it involves a little piggy here. So we got a little summer sale coming up here featuring this fantastic science champion.
You know what teasing
we have
means?
Spider-Ham's sizzling summer sale going live on June 26th. So we didn't give, dates and all the juicy details last time. We kind of just outlined that this was coming. I didn't want you guys to see 7-star Archangel and unowned and all that kind of stuff, and speculation can run wild, right? So before we laid everything out, I had to give a little bit of a teaser here, but I feel you have an inkling of what this is going to be like. There's going to be offers available for both units and on the Summoners Market and in game as well. There's going to be builder bundles all over the place in this sale day, guys. We're going to talk about in just a bit, but Elder Summoners are going to have their own tiers across the board this time. That is for the cash offers, for the unit offers, and for the web store as well. There's going to be the debut of 7-star Spider-Ham's Ascension. First appearance will be on the web store, where 2 of his champion tokens will live, and there will be 1 in the solo event. So we're also updating the build your own offer function here, and this is to give more agency to your bundles. So you're going to be able to access these directly inside of the game store in game. So the way we're going to be doing this, it's an update to the usual pick 1 of 3 summer format that we've been running for the past couple of years. We want to kind of freshen things up a bit, kind of like feel like it's getting a little stale, right? So we can't always do the same thing over and over. We're going to change it up here, okay? Now, there are still going to be 4 tiers available for units, but in the past, you had to go through like Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, then you had to go back to Tier 1 again, even if you didn't want to. Now this time, it's going to be a little bit different. We still have the 4 tiers, and you still have to go through each one to unlock them, but each tier has different purchase limits, and you don't have to go back to Tier 1 if you don't want to. You can also get multiple of Tier 1s if you want to go that way as well. So the goal here is to provide a lot of agency into how you actually want to proceed and get rewards inside of this event, and any of the units spent on these bundles is going to contribute to the solo events, providing just more agency across the board. There's also something new that I'm pretty excited for, and that's going to be the first appearance of Ascendable Champions in Nexus Crystals for the first time. So it's going to be Nexus Greater Empowered Crystals, kind of exactly how you would expect. 3 choices open up from the future, peering into the battle realm, showing 3 potential options for your Ascendable Champion. However, if you are an Elder Summoner, there's also going to be Elder Nexus Greater Empowered Crystals added to the contest. This does the same kind of thing, except it grants 2 champion tokens per pull, along with 2 of those class tokens as well. These are going to be present in unit offers and also in the web store milestones. I'm not going to say exactly how many there are, but there are a couple. There are more than 2, I believe. So these are pretty exciting. These are pretty powerful. If you have one champion that's like level 1 ascended, you pulled him 1 time. Let's say you pulled, I don't know, Zemo always comes to my head and everyone always makes fun of me for it. But let's say you have a Zemo at Ascension level 1, you pulled him 1 time. You open up the Elder Nexus Greater Empowered Crystal and you see him, boom, that's Ascension level 2 right there, because you get the 2 tokens that you need for that Alternatively, if it's a completely new ascension, you have to
I'm just kind of like
one more time from the empowered crystal.
I'm getting, like, emotionally
That's pretty
dead
exciting
for these.
stuff. We're also doing something else pretty big here, launching alongside Spider-Ham's Sizzling Summer Sale. On June 26th, we have a 7-star launch pool first appearance box. This is the largest box we've ever done in the contest. There's going to be 1 free key on the web store, and there's also going to be shared limits between the web store and in-game for units as well. And on top of that, on top of the free key, we're also going to be giving our CCP some giveaway codes as well, like we've done in the past. So I actually haven't told them that yet, so surprise, guys. You're gonna have some giveaways going on over the next couple of weeks. Isn't that great? Isn't that exciting? So keep an eye on your favorite creators' channels, whether it's on Twitch, whether it is on YouTube, or whether it is Cat Murdoch's Fantastic Graphics on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. 36 champions are going to be in this pool, and there's 1 free key on the web store. Also, speaking of free things on the web store, if you are the right progression level, there is a free 7-star Spider-Ham if you don't have him, so make sure you go and claim that on the web store as well. Speaking of claiming things, you're going to want to log in a decent amount at the end of June too, because there is a little spider-themed supply drop leading up to this event as well. If you log in daily, starting on June 20th, you can earn progression-based champions and crystals. There's some empowered crystals if you're Paragon and above, and some 6-star Spider-Verse champions to build out your roster if you are Thronebreaker and above as well. So there's some nice juicy things in here that could be pretty good if the RNG is in your favor, but who doesn't love some free supply drops? So jump in.
I thought this was going to be a tower
get ready
stream,
for the
not a
barbecue.
fucking ad for
But
this upcoming
what
sale.
is a barbecue without some wings, right? I'm a big wings guy. I love wings. I love chicken. It's great. So Archangel's coming along to help out Peter Porker here. He's making his debut and bringing those spicy wings to the Sizzling Summer Sale. There's going to be 1 copy of Archangel in the in-game solo event, and there's going to be a few copies of Archangel, I believe 2 to be exact, on the web store, with the first appearance version being one of them. Very important to note here, okay, because this is the first chase champion of sorts after Ascension is launched. Archangel will not be ascendable at launch, okay? So this is 7-star base Archangel without Ascension champion tokens or anything like that. 7-star Archangel is pretty ridiculous in the damage department, my friends. So this is going live on June 26th. 7-star Archangel. Rank 5 Archangels are probably going to be all over the place. So really exciting stuff. But this is going live in about 16 days, if my math is correct. That's pretty exciting stuff. Now, very important thing here about this graphic right here. Really, really important stuff. So it has come to my attention that Spider-Ham is not actually a pig. He was bit by a radioactive, he's a spider, correct? He's a spider bit by a radioactive pig. I know what you're thinking. You're probably a little concerned that there's pork in the hot dog there, okay? Even if there is, I just want to say it's not that big of a deal because it's not what it seems. So that's okay. We're all good there. There are no issues. Everything is okay. You know what? He's probably burning his hands, and that's why things are flying all over the place. So are there some issues? Probably. But when it comes to ethics, I think we're okay here, okay? And that's what I'm trying to get at. One more thing real quick here. We're doing a little StatCast Relic update. Now, we said we were going to do this a while ago when we launched these. We never actually consolidated these pools. Now, raise your hand at home if you can tell me with confidence every single StatCast Relic in Wave 1 and Wave 2. There's probably a couple of people who can do it, and I'm very impressed that you can. But for the majority, I feel like it's kind of like washed at this point. If you scroll through the relics right now, there are multiple rarities, and there's like wave 1, wave 2 for all of them. Now we have the Nexus crystals as well. It's all over the place. There's way too many. So on June 22nd, both of these are going to be combined into just one pool. The way we're going to do this is we're going to remove the wave 2 relic crystals and put everything into wave 1. So if you're like super close on the Grandmaster's Grace for the Wave 2 Valiant Crystals or something, and you want to just hit that if you're a couple away, we're going to make these available for units 1 week before this consolidation event. So if you are interested in that, keep an eye out for that. One other thing as well, we are doing a bit of a tuning update that won't really impact you too much. You might not even notice this, honestly, but the way it's going to work right now is that StatCast relics are very beneficial if you're high in SIG or at the high end of the attribute tuning, right? So that is the actual socket itself if you have all the embers in and you're at the top level. We're gonna just flatten these curves essentially to provide some stronger benefits at lower SIG levels and also lower socket levels if you don't have it maxed out. Although I imagine your top relics are going to be at max level. But regardless, we're just gonna flatten out this to make it a little bit more consistent. So if you have some duped 7-star relics, SIG 20, SIG 40, even SIG 60, those are gonna get a little bit nicer. This tuning update is targeted for July, a couple of weeks after Wave 1 and 2 are consolidated. Again, something that likely won't really be noticed, but just gonna make them a little bit better across the board, right? So,
I mean, he has to talk. Kind of, but yeah.
That was a couple of announcements. There were a couple of fun things we talked about there. I'm really excited for Spider-Ham's barbecue.
Yeah,
I'm going to attend.
Again,
I cannot wait. I got my invite in the mail today. Very excited for that. Incursions going live today. The Mysterium store is great. San Diego Comic-Con, that might be a fun time, right? But that's not why we're here today. We're here for something else entirely. 31,000 people came here in the chat. Talk about Towers.
26 minutes to
Towers
get to
is launching on June 17th. Marvel Contest of Champions' newest massive feature and game mode. And I'm very excited to talk all about that today. Now, I have been very into Towers over the past few weeks. I've been doing a ton of playtesting. I have many hours into Towers over the past few weeks. I am feeling the power of the tower, my friends. I know a lot about it, but there are people on the team who know even more about it. So we had to fly in an absolute expert from across the world. Welcome back to the stream, Kabam Neuro. Thank you so much for joining us here on the official live stream, my friends.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mike. Thrilled to have made the journey to be back here with you, with Twitch chat, with everyone. Shout out to my wife who's at home sick, taking care of our 3-year-old so that I could be here. So
Major
Mrs. Neuro making it happen.
Thank you so much, by the way, for allowing Mr. Neuro to come out. We really appreciate you, and we hope everything is going super smoothly back at home. But dude, thank you so much for joining us for real. I know that you've been working super hard on Towers over the past few months, really. Lots and lots of time went into this, right? So we're going to talk about all this today. We gave a little bit of a preview last time. This is basically what we know here. So get the slide deck up here. Just what Towers is, it's a permanent PvE game mode with nearly endless content, theoretically endless content. We know that you have to clear floors, which are fights before the timer expires. We know that each fight is called a floor, and that towers are blocks made up of multiple fights, right? And we also know that you can increase your tower rating by climbing different forms of towers, and that there will be 2 different kinds at launch. Class towers for all your classes, and also challenge towers. And of course, with any great piece of content in the contest, there are going to be rewards that you can earn from playing each week. Of course, we know the basics and the fundamentals as well. Each champ can only be used 1 time per tower, and after a fight, your health is restored all the way to 100%. Now this happens whether you win or lose a fight. The one final thing we know here is that starting a fight costs 1 tower entry. This is not going to use standard Marvel Contest of Champions energy, all right? However, unlike energy, winning that fight rewards you with 1 tower entry. So, in theory, you only lose your energy if you lose the fight. So how far you push in towers is ultimately in your control.
Oh, come on, lads.
So, we talked about class towers a little bit last week. Or not last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. We talked about how class advantage makes no impact, and there's a big highlight on challenge rating. Now, Neuro, talk to us a little bit about challenge rating here in towers. We actually talked about challenge rating on stream a few months ago when talking about Ascension, and just kind of like what it is. You know, ultimately challenge rating is what determines like how often you crit, how hard you hit, what your armor is like ultimately compared against other champions. But for most players at the end of the day, it kind of becomes like a number that can kind of be put in the back of your mind. You don't really have to worry about these things. These are things that happen naturally in the background where number gets higher, good things happen, right? But now, it's
Meanwhile,
becoming more of a tangible thing. We're going to be really seeing it. And you're going to be like seeing how this
hit the like
impacts
button,
things.
follow button,
Talk to us a
sub
bit
button,
about that.
become a member.
Yeah, absolutely. Very
Climb
fair
the
to say
high
that
ground
challenge rating
my
typically
stream.
is something that maybe you have an awareness of, or maybe you sort of just develop an intuition for because it affects things like crits, etc. In this case, challenge rating is a direct indication of basically the power of your roster in a way, and as it's growing, right? Great explanation of the things challenge rating can affect. Some things that influence your challenge rating are, for example, developing your roster by getting more champions at higher tiers, the higher tier having a higher challenge rating, ranking up that champion to, again, increase their challenge rating, and then for 7 stars as well, ascending them, which also advances that challenge rating. And so in this case, in Class Tower is a place where we want the game mode to grow alongside your roster and reward the roster growth that's already happening. Challenge rating was just a really clean measurement of that growth.
Yeah, so it seems like Class Towers here, it's kind of like a way to...
It is a bullshit way
I don't want to say
that
celebrate
you
your
will be
roster, but
basically
almost celebrate
forced to
like your
use
individual
Ascended
class
champions
rosters,
for it,
right?
Because
So
Ascension
talk to
gives
me
a
a bit
shit ton
more
of
about
challenger
like, the
rating.
design philosophy for Class Towers, and maybe we'll take a little peek at Class Towers as well as we do this. How about that? You guys want to see a Class Tower in action as we talk about it? How about we do a skill Class Tower here and get things going? I'll get that set up, but talk to me a bit about the design philosophy going into this.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a number of ways where you can talk about with others or for yourself kind of measure your own roster growth. Right now, maybe you're accustomed to saying, oh, I have 3 tech rank 5 champions, let's say, if you're competing with 7 stars. We also now have collectives as a way to say, oh, I've invested in this class to this point where my collective is at this rank, right? Class towers are basically a way to, again, sort of measure and have an extra layer of fun with the growth of your roster. You can specialize in some particular class to some extent if you want to, invest your generic resources there and say, oh, I just really want to be like a tech guy for whatever reason. Or you can see the development of your entire roster grow across all classes from the moment that you download the game to the rest of the battle realm, effectively. This is, as you noted, something that will accompany summoners along their entire journey of growth. So
Absolutely.
we're really excited about that.
I am too. Now, real quick, are we good for live gameplay here, Finn? We're good? All right, let's start getting it up there. So talk to me a bit about, and by the way, really quick, this is the first time we're really viewing this. Completely overhauled UI here. We're a tiny bit squished at the top there, but it because of the, the borders and everything of the stream. Completely fresh UI for the mode itself. Absolutely massive stuff here. It looks incredible. Say it with me, everybody. The art team does not miss, because this looks insane. And this is the skill tower, so it's red, of course, right? The cosmic one will be blue. The mutant one will be yellow, of course. But talk to me a bit about defenders in class towers. Who am I going to be seeing?
Yeah, so I mean, you can see just even from the 4 on screen here, we're not really looking at PvP top meta defenders. We're not even really looking at kind of the layer below those either. Class towers are all about your investment in and your mastery of your attackers. And so with that in mind, we want defenders that can really set up situations where you're trying to get just the most out of your attacker's core loop. What is your attacker trying to do with minimal thought really to what the defender is going to pose in terms of threat, right? This is ultimately a scenario where you have a minute to do as much damage as you possibly can, ideally to KO the defender. And so you should be supported to just really think about how can I get the most out of this champion.
Yeah, so as you saw right here on the screen, I was kind of going through my roster and just kind of like setting it up. Now, one thing I love about towers is that it feels very smooth. It feels very speedy to go through, right? Now, the timer is running. One thing that's great here about the timer in class towers is I could pause it 3 times by using special attacks. As you can see right here, boom, that timer is paused. So yes, I have 60 seconds, but I really have a little bit longer than 60 seconds as well, right? We're gonna get a little aggressive here and go for it. Is the special one going to kill? I think it's going to, because we got those guaranteed crits. Now, I said it was a smooth process, a quick process. You keep the things moving here. Now,
so basically,
you go right into the next fight. So all of like the difficulty of like, the barrier of like, I didn't click the button. All of the, I completely missed it. All like the barrier of like, moving to the next fight, all this kind of stuff. That is kind of happening on the pre-fight screen here, right? Now, talk to me a little bit about champions who are going to naturally excel in class towers.
Yeah, class towers, as we see here, we're looking at a 1-minute timer with a little bit of change there added. So you definitely are going to feel better using champions that can access their damage quickly. You know, those first 3 special attacks are going to pause, and so ideally that's kind of the window that you're looking at. So yeah, short form champions that can access that damage, and that ideally, with the easier defenders, don't really rely on particular defenders in order to do so either.
That's right, and also, health doesn't really matter in this mode, does it?
Yeah, you just gained a lot of power right there.
And that's why I did that. How do you see that? You see how I set that all up, right? So boom, look at this. Bam, I went right up to special 2. I let him hit me so I can get him rooted, and that was a nice 800k medium attack right there.
It's some big damage.
It is some big damage, right? So there's a lot of different strategies that you can use in class towers that you might not use in battlegrounds or alliance war, even in questing scenarios where, you know, health is kind of important. There aren't any potions, there aren't any revives in class towers or challenge towers. Now, that being said, you do still want to solo the fight. That's going to be very important. You don't want to lose the fight or else you're going to lose your tower entry. And if that happens, not at the end of the world, right? But you ultimately kind of want to still manage it in a way where you can use your health bar as a resource. Now, I think this is going to be a very solid viewing of challenge rating here, okay? Because I intentionally used some rank 4s that were in Ascended, some rank 4s that were. This was a rank 5 Thor Ragnarok here that is not Ascended just yet. And now we're going to use a rank 5 Ascension level 2 champion here against Red Hulk and Atuma. And we're going to see that the challenge, nope, that's coming up next. But this is a rank 4 Ascended Hitmonkey, which also brings us to another point that champions who could do a lot of damage in a very short amount of time are going to be very valuable here, right? That was a very quick fight, even though a rank 4 Ascension level 1 Hitmonkey. But we're going to see the impact of challenge rating right here, right? Because challenge rating is more important in class towers than they really have been in the past. So here we have our rank 5 Ascension level 2 Atuma, which, by the way, you worked on this buff, correct?
I did. Also a big fan. I think he's a lot of fun now. He's taken a couple of steps to get where he is right now, but yeah, I think he's solid even in towers. Again, kind of that champion who can ramp up quite a lot, but the ramp comes online by the time the tower's counting down when you need it.
That's the thing, 60 seconds, I feel like when we're looking at timed game modes like Battlegrounds, for example, where, hey, you know, if a fight lasts 60 seconds or so, the other fight might have been quicker, you might lose that round. However, this gives you like the space to ramp up and get like your cash out moment, right? So you don't really have to worry about like finishing in 20 seconds and 30 seconds. You have the entire time period here to go through it, right? So you want to use that to your advantage as well. So what about a champion like Aegon, for example? Will Aegon be good in class towers?
I'm going to say big no for a couple reasons. One is there's not going to be that ability to get the crossfight charges, right? You know, within each block, you're only able to use a champion one time, and so you really are looking to get the most out of them in that one fight. And then also, you're just not going to have the time within it to pick up that hit count that you're going to want to really ramp him up.
That makes a lot of sense, right? So champions who really want to ramp for like Everest content, probably not going to be the move here. However, champions that have a little bit of a build-up where you go special 1, special 2, maybe even a couple of times, right? You do a couple things, you build a resource, and you have a nice big cash out moment, you're going to have a nice fun time with them. And I feel like Dr. Bong is a really great example of that, where you want to go for that special 1 into that special 2 and have those really satisfying heavy attacks. And if you have a nice challenge rating advantage as well, that's going to be some really, really juicy stuff. So here against this Red Goblin, I'm just going to bait out this special 2. I could get a hit to make it go faster, actually. Should have done that. But we're going to go for the Striker here, and he actually might die before the cash out, too. And it looks like he's probably going to die from the special 2. But as the challenge rating gets higher, imagine that, like, you know, we're a little bit higher in the tower here.
At this point,
we climbed it a bit more, and the challenge rating on the Red Goblin is maybe 20, 30, 40 higher. You might have to go for all 3 of those heavy attacks, and then maybe another loop as well before he actually falls, right? So again, this is not like the top level that you're going to be at. This is kind of like right where we expect you kind of like to start here, right? So that was one whole tower. And I wasn't being super hyper focused on this here. I was just kind of like casually going through it, doing a little bit of a demonstration, but that was one block of towers for one of these. So as we can see, there's no like super meta ultra hard defender in this. There's no major roadblocks. It's more so about like kind of building out your roster and then putting it in place, right? So going back here to the slide deck.
Oh, come on.
here. These are permanents, and they're meant to grow with your account, right? They theoretically have no limits, but your roster will eventually cap, because yes, I was rolling right through that, right? But eventually, that's gonna stop. Eventually, those challenge ratings are gonna start to equal out. And as your top roster grows, so can your tower's progress. Now that was block 64, I believe. Now that's a lot. That's a lot to go through. And we talked about how this is gonna be available at the very, very start of the contest. So if you download the game in a week for the first time, if you're new to MCOC, you can jump into towers and start making your progress, right? Now, because of that, class towers may feel a bit grindy at launch if you wanna push them all. I mean, 65 is pretty high.
It's a lot of fights.
However, you're not going to start at block 1. You're not going to be making up 12 years of progress. You're actually going to skip right up there to where you're supposed to be in all 6 at the very start, and you're going to get the rewards and all of the challenge, the tower rating as well from the skipped floors, right? So now this is based on your individual account size. This is actually the block that I skipped to. That was just a copy of my account over onto the testing environment here. So I went up right to block 64. Depending on the size of your account, it's going to depend on where you skip to. This is going to be Dallas people saying, thank God, oh my God, I was so worried in the chat. And totally valid. Imagine if you had to do all 60. I mean, listen, it's one of those things where imagine if you somehow, some way, never did any story content whatsoever. Let's just say, right? And you really wanted to play act whatever, but you had to go through act 1, and you had to go through act 2. You had to go through Act 3. You would just be auto-fighting that, right? And that's ultimately what this would be. So how we tune this is we're not going to skip you right to the very, very top, because that would be ridiculous. We'd be roadblocking you right away, right? We kind of want there to be some towers for you to move through.
That's exactly right, yeah. We saw those fights that you were doing after you had skipped. And again, even if someone doesn't skip exactly to there, they'll skip to a similar spot relative to their roster. And so that's about the type of fights that you'll see as you explore the towers for the first time, kind of get some fights under your belt and understand how it works. And then you'll keep building, and you'll steadily see that by the end of the fight, there's a little bit less time left, okay? I need to think about this a little bit more. And you can sort of push as far as you want to push your roster and kind of let it be as difficult or easy for yourself as you want it to be.
That's right. And, you know, we
this
said
looks like
on the last slide that also they may feel grindy at first. And even with the skip, that is still true. One thing to note here is that this is meant to be permanent content, right? This is meant to be that thing where it's like, hey, you've done your EQ for the month. Hey, Alliance War is off. You've done, it's AQ Meta Week, right? You're done. You did that, or maybe it's raids and you're capped out. You used your revives, you're waiting for the refresh on Thursday, or you did your AQ path, right? So what's left? You did all your story content. You've done everything else. Incursions aren't on. You finished your side quest for the week. All right, there's Battlegrounds, but maybe it's off season. Maybe you're just not in the mood to do a fight where you have to focus and draft and think and be locked in the whole time. Well, enter towers. Now you have that PvE mode, right? That's going to give you like that itch of, I want to play MCOC. I don't want to be like, you know, super hyper focused on it. I just want some MCOC, man. You have 6 class towers to choose from to make your progress. Now, if you're super sweaty with it and you want to get like all the way to the top, I understand. I'm the same way. I'm probably going to be grinding these things like crazy right away, you know? But that's not your style of gameplay. This is always going to be there for you to get in there. You need 1 minute, right? Because the timer is 60 seconds. So if you have like a 60-second block of time, you could jump in and make some progress, because you don't have to sit there and do an entire block in one go. The only barrier here is one fight at a time.
That's right, again, and we really want to support those different types of experiences of whether you have 60 seconds and maybe you're just going to plan out your block or look at things that way, or if your goal is to sit down and say, okay, I've got the next 2 hours, maybe I'm going to hang out with some friends and talk about it and try to figure out how much further can I push my roster in this case, effectively turning into a bunch of mini speed runs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of different things that we can do with this, and we'll talk a bit more about that as well. But before we do that here, we've talked about tower rating a lot. Haven't really explained it yet. What is tower rating? Well, it's obviously built from the progress you made in towers. And the way you build it is that each class tower floor cleared grants +1 1 rating. Challenge towers may grant more than 1 per floor. For example, the Saga Showcase Challenge Tower, which we already know about, I believe that one grants 3 per floor. Right, so this can obviously be more. It could be 8, it could be 10, it could be 50. Probably not 50,
Probably
right?
not 50.
But it could be. The point is that it could be different from the standard of 1 in-class towers, right? And that's ultimately what tower rating is.
I'm a fan of this
Like, why does this matter?
communication.
Why is this tower rating, that is the culmination of all your progress in this permanent game mode that is permanent and does not reset, why does it matter? Well, that we're going to be talking about after the next slide, which I should have done that a lot better. So imagine that build-up that I just didn't happen.
I'm imagining.
And then I will do that again in about 1 minute or so. But how do we enter towers, right? Because this should have been happening a lot earlier in the slide deck. That's okay. Each tower floor is going to require 1 tower entry. Now, there are 2 types of tower entries: class tower entries and challenge tower entries. These look different. The one that looks like the challenge tower entry, the scary one, that's what that one is, all right? So both of these, they cap out at a stack of 10 entries. The way this works is that both of these entries reset to max every 7 days, okay? So that's a total of 20 tower entries every 7 days that refresh. Now, the way this refresh happens is if you bust through all 10 of your entries, if you die 10 times, right, and you want to just wait for that to refresh, you're going to get all 10 at the start of the week. If you mow through like 3 or 4, or maybe you're the most skilled MCOC player in the entire world and you never lose a single fight in towers, that 10 is going to stay at 10, right? But it's going to reset at the start, so you have your set amount of entries.
Shut up, guys.
If you want to be that sweaty challenge tower or class tower pusher, right? And you want to go crazy, min-max everything, push more than you should push. The tower is telling you, hey man, this is where you're capping out. Your roster is capped here. And you're saying, yeah, no it's not. I'm going to push it. I'm going to keep doing it. When you finally break through it, it is fun to do that. It is fun to push through that floor, right? And when you finally get it, it feels really good. There are going to be lesser refills and regular refills available for units at any time. But again, you have 20 entries refreshing every single week. Now, remember that like fantastic build-up I did about like, but man, why does tower rating even matter? Why do we care about this permanent thing and this permanent game mode that never resets? Well, because in every great game mode, there is a great set of rewards, right? Now, the spoils are going to go to the tower climbers, my friend, because there are a lot of different vectors of rewards here, okay? We have permanent rewards and also, of course, temporary rewards. So each tower block has its own rewards. We can kind of think of that like one path of a quest, right? So obviously, one block is a string of fights, just like one quest path is. You're going to get a set of rewards from that. You'll also get your XP and ISO and gold from every individual fight you do as well. But on top of that,
impossible.
Yes, this is a PvE mode. You're largely competing against yourself. You're going on your own journey in your tower progress, but there are still ranked rewards based on your overall rating and essentia in weekly towers engagement events too. Those are permanent. For temporary, there's of course solo objectives or special events like the Rome event or whatnot that we'll talk about in just a bit. But let's start talking about how much potential radiance we can get in towers. Radiance can be earned solely based on your tower rating, and since this never resets, ranked rewards will be rewarding your ongoing efforts in towers as a mode. Now, if you're watching this on your phone,
now we have radiance you can grind.
If you're watching this on your 80-inch TV, which I hope you are, and just like getting a nice big surround sound experience here, we should like stream these in movie theaters. That'd be great, by the way, right? You'll notice that that number at the top is very, very high. There is a lot of potential radiance in towers. This is going to be very competitive at the top, of course, but it goes pretty much all the way down as well. Even if you have moderate amount of tower rating, there's essentia at the very, very, very end. But man, there is a lot of radiance that is going to be paying out. And this is an event that kind of runs
can't
like
make
on
out
a
comments
season
against that.
cycle in a way, right? Similar to Battleground seasons. AQ technically has seasons that we don't
300,000, I
necessarily
think,
talk
for
about,
first
but it
spot,
technically
but,
does
you know,
have
that's a
seasons.
one person.
Alliance War seasons where the rewards get paid out, and of course there are titles as well, very similar to Battlegrounds and Alliance War.
Spot
If you
number
get
one, I
the
think, was
top title
300K.
multiple times, it might upgrade to something else. We'll see if that happens, right? Maybe we'll just see if that happens
Nico.
there. But
Heavenly Demon.
there's a lot of rewards available here in Towers. When it comes to Essentia in Towers, there's the weekly engagement event here. All you got to do is participate in Towers weekly and you're going to earn points. These aren't tuned too highly here. You're going to need about 5,000 points total in this event to get up to 5,500 Essentia each week, which is based on your progression level. If you're a lower progression level, it's less Essentia, but if you are in one of the higher ones, I believe it's Paragon and above, you can get up to 5,500 Essentia each week. Now, as you can see right here, doing different things in the fight is going to get you more points, right? So just completing a fight is 50, right? If you land a light attack,
You're the
that's
biggest
5
game on,
points.
basically.
Land a medium, that's 15 points. These are things that are happening without you even noticing, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, if you're just climbing your tower, winning some fights, you're going to get progress in this. If you're sort of at your limit for your roster in some particular class, you can just go in, use the free currency, the free entries that you've gotten that week, focus on some of these prompts and knock it out. Pick up those resources.
Exactly. It's ultimately, you know, when Essentia launched, we know it was a little bit of a rocky launch, right? But I think it's nice and stable now, where there's a nice, clear delineation between Radiance and Essentia. Essentia is meant to be that engagement-based currency where, hey, get in there, play, earn your rewards. This is what you got, right? But yeah. But then we also have those temporary rewards too, like, for example, the Power of Towers Realm event, which is a 3-week Realm event that is launching alongside Towers. Now, the way this is going to work is that if you climb floors in class Towers, you earn points. And yes, the skips do count. So get on in there and skip those floors. You're going to be getting a lot of points right away.
Like more points from
There's
Twitch
also going to
drops
be
and
more
all
points
that.
available from the Twitch drops that you're already earning. Everyone watching right now, well, not these. They're starting in the following week. But, you know, the Twitch drops that you definitely watch every single week, we're going to be putting in some of those points for the Towers events into this as well. And also there will be some Tower offers too, like we do with our engagement events, as always. But basically, Towers is largely going to take up the side quest meta event space for the month of June. So our standard side quest reward budget is going to be placed inside of this event. But on top of that, there's also going to be some stretch milestones as well, featuring Warlock in the stretch milestones. He's also going to get a featured crystal run if you want to take him up to Ascension level 2, or get that first appearance as well in the featured Valiant crystals. But Warlock's Ascension is going to be attainable in this event, and that's why he's plastered all over all this stuff. Every marketing asset that we have has this guy. You know, really funny thing actually that I did not even do on purpose is that back in like last August when we did like the beta of the Tower side quest, I just happened to use Warlock as the poster child for that mode. So Warlock has, funny enough, been attached to Towers since the very beginning. So I really do feel like it's very fitting that, like, at launch, you can ascend this guy. It's going to bump his challenge rating up a little bit. That's going to make him even better in Towers, and he's going to be nice and useful for your tech tower, which is pretty nice and thematic, right? He's always going to be there for your towers. I like that.
Let's go.
That's nice, right? But now we got some more stuff to talk about here when it comes to Towers itself, right? Now, this is the type of stuff where if you're going to be super engaged in the mode, you're going to want to know all this stuff, right? But you don't need to know all this stuff to be able to progress in Towers, kind of like challenge rating, right? It's going to help to know the challenge rating. It's going to help to know the in and outs, but you just kind of got to know that something's happening, right? Big number, good, right? Use big number, good things happen. But now we have the rules of the contest. So the rules of the contest are going to be a new standard in MCOC. And these are going to be used very sparingly across the game, but they're going to be a key component in Towers. Talk to me a little bit about these.
Yeah, so these rules are kind of a formalization of something that's existed for a while, and it's effectively the idea of, you know, this will be more fun for this reason, sort of because this reason says so, in a way. You could think of some boss fights, for example, like Ares, where he sort of just lays down the rules and you say, okay, let me play into this, and you ultimately can have a lot of fun through that. So this is a similar thing in this game mode where, for example, with the challenge rating, with the class advantage interactions, the goal is to sort of simplify what you have to think about and go in and get it done.
Absolutely, right? So it's kind of just a cleaner way to like kind of lay down the law. Listen, at the end of the day, there are over 350 champions in this game. We have about 87,000 nodes in this game. There are almost unlimited potential interactions that happen in this game, right? We have relics on top of that, synergies. There are so many potential things, right? So this is really just a way to say, like, hey, listen,
I mean,
in this game mode,
right now,
no matter what,
most of the people are
you cannot, for example, counter this unstoppable. You cannot, for example, heal. You cannot do this, right? So any potential little get around thing, it doesn't break anything. It's a clean way to kind of be like, this is what's going on in this mode. And class towers, ultimately, right? It's pretty basic stuff here. Damage taken is adjusted by the challenge rating. Class advantage makes no impact. And we haven't talked about this yet. Defenders cannot activate their special 3, right? That's pretty nice. Now we've talked a lot about like, you know, the timer, do a lot of damage, be aggressive, have a lot of fun. There is this like kind of phrase in the community, and I'm sure everybody watching at home has heard this. Oh, they're a great Realm of Legends champion, right? There's a few I could think of right now. Annihilus comes to mind, right? Annihilus, maybe Kraven's pretty good in Realm of Legends, right? Just be super ultra aggressive. Sometimes if you're that aggressive with these champions and other content, well, you're met with a special 3. But in class towers, that's not really an issue, right? You don't have to really worry about eating that special 3 and having your run end. It's going to be just like, you know, get in there, be aggressive, have some fun.
That's exactly right. Again, going back to that idea of how well have I mastered this champion, how much can I get out of them in this amount of time, and then, okay, let's put a little bit of a towers twist on it so that you can even have more to try to play for.
Exactly, so we've talked about aggression. Ruthless aggression here in class towers. Let's talk a little bit about masteries now, right? So, as we laid out last time, swapping mastery loadouts is completely free in towers, right? Now listen, you guys watched the demo I did here of Block 65. I probably could have done that with no masteries, right? With a little bit of skill, right? Because obviously I couldn't parry or anything at that point, no dex or anything. With a little bit of skill, a little bit of playing around, I probably could have gotten through that without any masteries. We talked about, as we get higher in there, really optimizing stuff if you want to really push in this mode, right? How important are masteries really in towers? And
masteries can do a lot of good for you, especially when you're trying to push at a challenge rating deficit. You know, we saw you fighting with a challenge rating advantage of maybe 20 plus challenge rating, and so in that case, it's quite straightforward. Ultimately, once you're at parity, it gets a little bit more competitive, but then really when you're looking at pushing, you know, defenders that are a couple ranks above you or a couple of ascension tiers above you, you're looking to get as much as you possibly can. And so some of the things you might look at are who are just the champions that deal the highest damage? You know, who are my highest challenge rating champions? Then you also start to think about, okay, my collective, is it as advanced as I could be? And then when we turn to mastery loadouts, there's just a ton of attack rating available. And that attack rating directly is going to convert into damage. And so you can potentially look at some really wacky loadouts. Maybe you say, oh, I don't need defense. I want to get hit a little bit. I want my health to be below 50% so that I can get that extra attack rating from the courage mastery. I'm not going to say that you should only invest in the offense tree. Still pick up parry, still pick up dex, but maybe play around with some very different setups than you typically would.
Yeah, it reminds me of something. A while ago when Abyss launched, back in I believe 2019 or January 2020.
No, it was just last year, right? Just last year.
It feels like it, man. It really does. But many, over 6 years ago when Abyss launched, for some reason, and looking back at it, it wasn't the best strategy. But like the meta at the time was putting all of your masteries in offense for the Abyss Collector, right? It kind of reminds me of that in a way, where it's like, you know, during one of the big towers playtests at the studio, I was up against this one fight. I was getting so frustrated. I was pushing much further than I should have at this point, right? But I just could not get this fight down. They were down to like 2-3% at the very end, and I was getting like real mad, right? And I was like, all right, I'm going all in. I like reset all the masteries. I just like optimized it like perfectly. I did like boom, mega attack, right? Went all in, I did it like 8 times in a row, finally got it. Dude, it was such a great feeling when that fight finally dropped. And ultimately, what I would recommend at that point, move on to a different class tower, right? It's like because this was a play test where we're all in on just one, right? And that's why we have 6. That's why this is like going to span across your entire roster. There's undoubtedly going to be some people who are going to be pushing very hard like that. It's going to be a very fun experience for our very competitive, core, engaged players. But this is a mode that's meant to kind of have a space for everybody, right? Because yes, that's going to be a part of this. That is going to be an area for our competitive guys. I'm probably going to do that. I'm probably going to be pushing this thing and having some fun, trying to optimize as much as I can. But at the same time, if you just want to like play some MCOC, right? Do some PvE content, not really worry about what anybody else is doing, move at your own pace, get some Radiance every couple weeks, get some Essentia as you're going through it, just get that rewards trickling in. It's going to be a great mode for you, right? And you don't have to worry about min-maxing the masteries or this or that, right? But there is a space to do that. And I think that's pretty fun. Absolutely. So we talked about the clock, right? The clock is always ticking in towers. Beating the clock is going to be a key component. It's just that there has to be a timer of sorts in the game mode, right? In class towers, the timer lasts for 1 minute. But you made a great point yesterday about this timer.
Yes, so it's 2026, and this is a new game mode, so we have the technology. If you pause the game, this timer will also be paused. So we talked about how towers can potentially be a great avenue I've got just a minute or two, let me play the game just for that period of time. If something comes up, your child busts into your room, or you got to turn your eggs when you're cooking them in the morning, whatever the case may be. Yeah, just pause the game, do what you need to do real quick, step right back into it, and the fight's exactly where you left off.
Exactly. So. Maybe you just have to pause it for a second, unmute your mic in a meeting and say, I'm aligned, and then you're good to go.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, listen, we all know what happens here. Let's not beat around the bush, Everyone's done it. Everyone's done it, right? But yeah, now, obviously in class towers, the major threat will be building out your roster, beating the clock, right? However, in other towers, timers aren't always the primary threat. I think it's very important to note here that while class towers are beat timer, go fast, challenge towers don't have that same identity all the time, right? So we talked a bit about challenge towers here that are also launching on June 17th. The first one is going to be the Saga Showcase Tower, and this is also a game mode that you were kind of the father of here, right? The Alliance War Encounter Showcase and the Saga Showcase was kind of your child.
Yeah, it wasn't my original idea. Shout out to the person who it was. They know who they are. But I was the first one to work on it and kind of build it out. And ultimately what that started out was, what if we had Alliance War over here and we put it in a PvE quest? And now we're sort of taking that of what if we have Alliance War over here and we took it and put it in a tower while also maintaining some of the parts of the Alliance War Showcase and the Saga Champion Showcase that players have come to like.
They are wearing my poor little baby nerves.
The way this content has worked in the past is there's been like two different kind of things, right? There's been the Saga Showcase, which is really fun, and has like the trigger volume in the middle of the field, where you get the attack increase if you stay in there, and then you do a lot of damage after the protection goes away. That is staying here. That's kind of what you're seeing right here, right? The first 10 fights, the first 10 floors, the first block is going to be that.
Let us know what the fuck is happening.
The following 2 blocks are going to be similar to the Alliance War Encounter Showcase, almost as if it's like Path 1.
It's not your fucking personal
this
channel.
one's going to be celebrating Tooth and Claw, focused on that saga. In the past, this has been a 3 to 4 week temporary side quest. We're really changing things up with towers here. This is now going to be permanent content, meaning that there's no time limit to complete it. Right? So we saw in the past one here is up at the top for at least block 1 here. We'll go over all the rewards in a second. For block 1, we have 2 Saga 6-star fortified gems, some 7-star Saga gems, some Titan crystal shards. That's a 7-star loyalty crystal, right? Some other stuff as well. That is always going to be there. And one thing that's really interesting to me is that it kind of acts like a time capsule for the content in a way, right? It's always going to be there as a celebratory event for the saga. And for someone who's maybe not ready for this content, or even someone who has not even started the game yet, 1, 2, 3 years from now, they download MCOC, They make their way to towers. They see challenge conflict. They see challenge tower archives.
Me saying is like, I don't give a shit.
Like, all right, let's Saga Showcase Tower. You're tooth and claw. Ooh, I don't have the champions for that just yet, but maybe I should rank up Toad. That might be he might be good for this one, right? You're ranking them up as you're going through it. You probably have access to 7 stars a lot quicker in 2 years from now, right? Like much quicker than now, which is dropping like candy nowadays, right? But
I just don't
it kind of like creates that time capsule of like, hey, while those rewards are going to be outdated for our most engaged folks in 2 years, not for them, right? It's going to be a way to rank up those 6 stars and then later blocks 7 stars as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And if we think about going back to tower rating and some of the things that we can do with it, we can make, for example, challenge towers available just based on that tower rating. And so if you say, okay, cool, well, if tower rating is just a measurement of how much my roster has progressed in each class, then kind of separately from PRG, we can offer you some additional challenges that are going to be relevant for where your class tower progress has ultimately gotten to. And so, if we think of how back issues, as one example, maybe became a little bit outdated in some ways, ideally, we're still offering this permanent content at a point where it's relevant to your roster, regardless of whether you're starting the game today, 5 years ago, or 5 years in the future.
Absolutely. And like we said, it's permanent, and there's no time limit to complete it for the main rewards. However, we may also have some objectives for getting through it in a particular amount of time. So the first Stellar Forged Green Goblin piece is going to be available here. If you complete all 3 blocks by July 10th, you can earn that Goblin Smile, along with 5 more of those action figures for America Chavez, right? So get on in there, do that challenge tower. I will say, honestly, challenge towers were truly some of my favorite content that we've done in a very long time. In fact, I actually shot her a message one night at like 11 p.m. I went in like a few months ago just to like do some early testing and everything. I was going to do one fight to get a feel of it, right? Just like, all right, how does this differ from class towers? Starting to do my testing, starting to get ready for marketing stuff, all that kind of things. And I went through all 3 blocks unintentionally. And I'm like sending him screenshots of the fights. And I'm like, dude, look at this one. Look how fast I did it. Look what I did, right? It is so much fun to like kind of look at the Alliance War Encounter Showcase, see all the nodes, plan it out in real time. It's all, you know what? It really feels like, as someone who's been playing competitive Alliance War for 8 years, someone who's planned wars, it is the most accurate feeling to planning an Alliance War and then seeing it play out in real time. So I am so excited for this feature. I think it is such a blast. The Saga Showcase was also great to go through it, right? It's just like rapid fire, boom, 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 boom. It is a little different from previous Alliance War Encounter Showcases, right? For a few reasons. You can't use the same champion more than once, right? So someone like Corvus or Cull Obsidian, not going to be great in probably the Alliance War Encounter Showcase. I mean, Cull will probably be just fine, to be entirely honest, but he's not going to roll through the whole path.
Definitely some differences. Again, our goal here was kind of thinking about it in terms of, well, yes, there's some trade-offs, but there's some really cool components as well. As you said, the interface was pretty carefully crafted to support this idea of, I want to plan out kind of this entire quest-like experience where I'm only using a single champion each time. The timer here, again, is going to be like 5 minutes, and so it's very similar to War, where you know that you need to get this fight done, and it's kind of, in contrast to a quest, it's bringing back that feeling of like, and I need to solo this, right? Similar to an Alliance War where you're trying to say, oh, I want to get all of these attack bonuses. And so with that challenge kind of being new and different, you don't have the option to sort of chip down the opponent. We also kept that in mind for difficulty tuning so that we can say, okay, cool, let's provide a challenge that has some good RPG answers to solve and add some comfort for this fight, some skill asks, but ultimately not anything that's going to be so crazy that that players feel like they have to sit there really leveling up their skills over weeks or months, forbid anything like that. Really want it to be more approachable in that respect.
So, the last Alliance War Encounter Showcase was a step up in difficulty compared to previous ones. You're saying that this one, since it's a tower, you do have to solo
It should
fights.
be better now, right?
It's permanent content, right? But that's been taken into account, and the difficulty's kind of been adjusted based on that.
Absolutely, and there's going to be some different difficulty, and then it's going to stretch your roster a little bit more because, if you think of maybe in some war context, you're going to bring a path workhorse who takes multiple fights. In this case, you're going to need to plan an attacker for each fight individually. So again, keeping that different challenge in mind. As well.
Honestly,
Absolutely. I really
the
am so
fuck
excited
up,
to
lads.
play this again because I've played it, testing it many, many times. It's such a great time. I really can't wait for this to go live. But again, this is launching on June 17th. Cosmic and Skill Defenders here for the first block. Very similar to the one you go in essentially the first like 90 seconds or so. You want to focus on building up those attack bonuses, and then when the protection is down, you blast right through it. It's a lot of fun. These are the rewards here for block 1. When it comes to blocks 2 and 3 here, which is more so the Alliance War Encounter Showcase side of things, this is where we start seeing your Tier 7 Basic, your Tier 4 Alpha, your 7-star rank up gems, right? Some Saga Valiant Crystals and everything like that. But also Awakening Gem Shards and, of course, Tier 5 Alpha Fragments too, right? So this is very similar to the
9,000 Tier 5 Alpha
Fragments showcase in the past.
Yippee fucking
of course,
doo-doo.
if you do it within the first month or so, you get that Green Goblin piece.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers! You're gonna get 1/8 of a Tier 5 Alpha Catalyst.
Is incredible. But yeah, this is super exciting stuff. I can't wait for this to go live. Challenge towers in general are great, right? So I think that, it's great in the way that it kind of like has unlimited potential to what we can do with it. So we talked a bit about the Saga Showcase, Alliance War Encounter Showcase. It's pretty different from the class towers, right? Talk to me a bit more about what challenge towers could be.
I'll be playing
Absolutely.
Incursions in
At the end of the day, towers is a context where the way blocks work in that you have some number of floors and you can only use champions once each, and then the number of floors combined with the presence of a timer of some sort, right? And so at the end of the day, that's a pretty a freeing starting point that adds some interesting challenges in a systemic way. So we can sort of do whatever we want to from there. Maybe that means that in some challenge towers the timer is more of a threat,
on more than one
it's less of a
occasion,
threat.
I have looked at the clock in the recording, have seen
or
like
maybe it even means that we play for some kind of very different but tower-themed win conditions that maybe aren't what we would typically go for.
Never in my fucking life I have ever considered
to do some really weird things that we might not see in normal questing
this
environments,
level of bullshittery,
so I think that's also a very stark difference from the class towers, which are more consistent across the board, right? So at least right now, where challenge towers are landing, what sort of champions do you feel like will be useful for these challenge towers going live next week?
Specifically for those champions, I think we will be looking more at RPG in contrast to kind of the power focus that exists and the challenge rating focus that exists in class towers. So if you have some effects that are in a very war typical way, can add a lot of comfort to the fight, that's still going to be something you want to key into. In a similar way with the opening quest and trying to play within the zone, high hit count can often still be effective, get those bursts of damage, those types of things. So still looking at the gameplay and RPG effects that you typically would in a standard MCOC fight.
Absolutely. It's...
Use those free Amazon Prime memberships.
We're
climb the high
approaching
ground
12 years.
And tell us what you really think.
And
remember, your messages will be brought up.
It's really been a journey in so many ways, but it almost feels like we've been building up this roster for 12 years. And players have been making educated decisions about balancing the rosters across the way. And about a month and a half ago, we launched Class Collectives. And that became so much more real. That became so much more important to kind of have that balance across your roster. And you started to really see the benefits of what that could do for you. Now we're launching the class towers as well, right? And I don't want to say we are taking a pivot. I don't want to say that we're starting new, starting all this kind of stuff, but it almost feels like we're reaching a very important milestone in the game where we spent all of this time.
It almost feels
huge roster
like
of
you're
champions,
reaching very deep down.
Different classes. And now we're starting to see that, been planting the seeds. And we're kind of seeing things start to bloom,
having their way with them.
Class towers started to become, class collectives started to really make that roster start to bloom, even more so than they have in the past. And now you're going to use those class collectives and your classes in general inside these towers to kind of celebrate all the work that you've done. And as you're doing that, you're going to be getting Radiance and Essentia and be rewarded for the effort that you're already doing. Right? And I think that is such a really solid system here for just celebrating the growth in your roster that you've been building for 12 years.
And giving yourself effectively a new sandbox to have fun in with that roster at the same time.
Absolutely, and I love that. And
That is the
I
kind of
really
thing to
am
say. I
very
don't-
excited
I mean,
to see
people that don't
what
come
our
out and
players
be
do
so
with
crash.
towers. Is there anything
I
else
think I'm
about
sure there are
towers that you
some.
want to hit
I don't
on that
think
we didn't
everybody
get to
working
here
there
today?
running it is,
The only thing that I want to underline
But,
is towers
I
at the
will
end of the
say
day
that I
is a
disagree
new
with a lot of the
way
decisions, though.
to experience typical fights in MCOC and also fights in MCOC that maybe have a different twist. And so we feel like we have a lot of possibilities with that.
Well,
We have a really
the
exciting launch
Side
lineup.
crystals.
We have some more content coming out, even in soon months that I won't spoil yet. But we're really excited to offer ultimately a new experience with a twist on MCOC.
Absolutely. You know, I thought of something that we didn't cover. The floor reset feature that you wanted to talk about, actually.
Yeah, good note. We talked a little bit here about how, for example, in class towers, where you kind of look at big number good, me act on big number,
100%.
right? As you get to progress more within this content, and you start maybe trying to push yourself a little bit more, then you can start seeing, okay, my actions matter a little bit. Oh, I got to this one floor within a block, and I find that I actually wish I had one of my attackers that I had already used previously. You have the option basically just to free them up. You'll go back, you'll redo that floor, and then you can use that attacker in a later one. So you don't have to feel like you're being punished for not perfectly planning out your block lineup ahead of time.
Yeah, it sounds great, man. I mean, that's a big thing that we definitely wanted to touch on there, is that you're not locked into your decision for the rest of time. That'd be rough. That'd be a little rough, right? So there's definitely, there's a lot of possibilities there. There's a lot of freedom there. There's a lot of grace there as well, where, hey, just go back, just do it again. Kind of reset, almost like resetting the quest in a way, right? But dude, thank you so much for joining us here today on the official Towers live stream. It's been an absolute blast having you on.
This
You're
could
so
have been an
knowledgeable about the
email.
game. You do fantastic work here on MCOC. We always love having you on, so thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Mike. It's been a great time.
It's been a pleasure, man. All right, we also have some giveaways to talk about here. Towers are going live in 7 days, but before 7 days, we have some giveaways. And I am feeling extremely pumped up about this content. It's one of the last times I get to do that, so we gotta hit the pumped up one more time. Man, if I had a nickel for every time I wrote like pumped up in like any sort of like social media thing or marketing thing over the past few months, I have a lot of nickels, man.
welcome.
Thank you. That's right. That's right. Thank you so much to Kabam Vincent for the fantastic theming, making things very easy over the past few months. But of course, come on, we got our giveaways here. Keep an eye on your Twitch
I mean, at this point,
messages
Empowered, I think you're
for
talking about
Greater
moral
Empowered Crystals or
absolutism,
Champion
which just
Choice.
doesn't work in a world. It works in
For
a
the Champion
small
Crystal,
scale,
we have
family. Things like that work in,
Amy89No,
very, very
Legendary
small scale
Sid.
things,
What's
but
so
it just
legendary
never
about Sid
works with
anyway?
the human
Congratulations,
nature
though.
and reality
We have
of life.
Aztec Soul 07, Ninos01, and Joshi33. Joshi, congratulations, my friend. And for the champion choice between Phylavel and Shatterstar, congratulations to PU30320,
Is that it?
Roderick
Is that
112,
it?
the Kraken
Please
1110, Owl
let this be
993.
it.
Who is that? And you're schooled. Congratulations to all 10 of you. Absolutely incredible stuff here. Now, guys, listen, man. Let's have a little heart-to-heart about Marvel Contest of Champions here. You've done a lot of conquering in this game. You've conquered Battlegrounds. You've conquered Alliance War. You've
Heart to
conquered
heart with Karate Mike is like the
Incursions.
fucking last
Conquered
thing
your
that
questing.
I want to do.
You've conquered your event
It's
quest.
a-
You've conquered everything. You've conquered 10 potential progression levels, right? You've conquered Act 1. You've conquered Act 2. You've conquered Act 3. When you conquered Act 4, you achieved the progression of Conqueror. You've conquered Act 5 with the Collector. In Act 6, you had the Grandmaster. And then Book 2 rolled around. And then you conquered Act 7. And you conquered Act 8. And some of you may have even conquered Act 9 and defeated Karina
I'm about to
and
conquer my
achieved
desire
the
to play
title
this
of
game, man.
Elder. Some of you, most of you watching, I would imagine, who are very engaged and play all of our content, are elders of the contest. There's been a lot of story content in Marvel Contest of Champions over the past 12 years, and all of you know
Announcing
so
Act
well
10 beta,
when
yeah.
these come
Shut
out,
up and get
how
on
it
with
happens. You kind of know to expect when the next thing is going to happen. You know when the next story is going to happen. Right? I can't get anything by you guys. You know how it's all going to happen already. Well, for those of you who are elder, you might want to tune into the next stream. We'll see what happens there. Anyway, That's going to be it for this stream today, my friends. It has been an absolute blast to talk about towers. I cannot wait for this content to go live. It's going live on June 17th. There's going to be 2 class towers and challenge towers going live there, and 2 more class towers the following week, and 2 more the week after that. There's a realm event encompassing all of our class towers going live for 3 weeks, where you can earn Warlock's Ascension level 1 in the stretch milestones if you get in there and push those towers. Get the Green Goblin objective as well to get that first piece. And of course, there's some Mysterium and some objectives as well, because Mysterium is pretty good now. So you want to get in there and get all that Mysterium as well to push your roster even further. It is always an absolute joy to be here with you on the official live streams. I love each and every one of you, all 27,425. Yes, even...
All right, shut up and fuck off. Right. 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 All right. All right. Ta-da-da-dum. Remember, everybody, be on your best behavior. Definitely do not do any Streamlabs donations right now or super chats on YouTube, because that will be in the video. I can't take it back. Nobody sent any funny provocative messages about stinky feet or anything else that's spicy. Do not make my bot read out your little filth. But for most part, let's rock and roll. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So I have, alongside with a couple hundred of you guys, just suffered through one of the worst live streams that has ever done. Jesus almighty Christ, at this point, the amount of empty bullshitting and yapping in these is going through the roof. So here is going to be a summary. First 25 minutes... Karate Mike talked about everything that we already know and that they covered in the previous stream, basically. That there's a Mysterium update that's already live, there's Alliance Coliseum, pumped up Incursions already went live in game, you can claim Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Ham in the sale, and, you know, there's going to be a bit different way you spend units in the new sale, as well as Nexus Empowered Crystals and Nexus Greater Empowered Crystals. There's going to be a 7-star launch pool box that's going to get you a first appearance champion of some of the 7-star launch champions, which, yippee, you can have a Rainbow Venom now. And there's also going to be a login calendar that Kerbam now insists in calling a supply drop at this point. But basically, you're going to be able to get some Empowered Crystals or 6-star Spider-Verse champions. Yeah, Archangel's obviously coming. We already knew that. There's going to be a StatCast update where we're going to combine crystals from wave 1 and wave 2, and there's going to be just like a StatCast relic crystal, and they're going to tune a little bit StatCast relics to effectively make them slightly bit better. And then about half an hour in the stream, we actually got to discussing the towers, where first 10 minutes we discussed what we already knew. There's going to be a class towers, challenge towers. Each fight has a floor, set floors from blocks in a tower. Increase your tower rating as you climb the towers. That's very nice and well, great. And we're going to get to the more relevant thing. Initially, upon launch, there will be class towers. Like every week or every 2 weeks, they're going to launch 2 classes that we're going to be able to access. And this is going to be a permanent content. The key aspect here in towers, that is personally something that I likely don't like too much, is because challenger rating matters a ton here. And what gives a champion a ton of challenger rating? That is ascension. So effectively, any champion that is not ascended will be significantly worse in these. Because, yeah, ascension gives champions quite a lot of challenger rating. Don't remember from the top of my head. For most part, the class towers generally seem kind of like arena game mode with no units. Obviously, there will be, you know, different sets of rewards, but effectively there's no nodes. You just fight against a champion in the class towers, and your job is to beat these fights in like a minute, basically. So I'm gonna skip forward a bit. Block skips. Oh, one of these is a video that I wanted to make sure that I have. Did I record this? But it's basically a minute-long fights. Your timer pauses on special attacks like up to 3 times, and your job is again to kill the opponent within a minute and then climb and use different champions. You can't use the same champion twice in the same block. And class towers are permanent, will grow with your account. Theoretically, there's no limit, even though our rosters will effectively stop us from being able to progress. So, effectively speaking, truth be told, towers is kind of like a big stick measuring contest, more so than a test of skill, at the very least with the class towers. And initially, they might feel grindy, according to the Kabam. However, we will be able to skip a ton of floors, kind of... when the collectives launched, we were already at like, tada, whatever level we were at. And then we carried on progressing through the collectives and rank up champions and make sure we can get, higher there. Towers will be similar. We're going to get to skip the initial like 60 or some floors. Well, it's entirely based on your account size. And we're going to get rewards for that and the credit for that in the events. And then we're going to carry on climbing further. So the class towers effectively just seems kind of like a side thingy to do to grind out, and it's not particularly exciting type of fights. Tower rating is built from your tower progress. Each class tower floor cleared gives you 1 rating. Challenge towers will give you more than 1 point. Saga tower will give 3, for example. Culmination, each of your tower creates a rating. Your tower rating is permanent, does not reset. Tower entries, now this is kind of important. Each tower floor requires 1 tower entry. 2 types of tower entries, class tower entries and challenge tower entries. Both stacks of entries cap out at 10. Both tower entries reset to max every 7 days. If you win a fight, you get your entry back. If you lose a fight, you have used up an entry, basically. You can buy these for units too, but oh god, please don't, because why would you? Then rewards. Rewards in towers come from multiple places. Permanent rewards. Each tower block has its own rewards. Think of one block like a quest path. Ranked rewards based on your overall tower rating. Essentia in weekly towers engagement events. So towers will also be a game mode that you can quote unquote grind out. Temporary rewards from solo objectives and special events. Then radiance can be earned based on your tower's rating. Since tower rating never resets, ranked rewards will be rewarding your ongoing efforts in towers as a mode. You can earn a ton of radiance there, but you will have to kind of like grind it hardcore. Think of this similar to Battleground solo event, where it didn't matter where you placed in GC, it mattered how much you grinded out the Battlegrounds game mode. Kind of the same thing here. So that by definition means if you want to place highly here, you will have to spend units on the tower entries too, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. You never expect anything different from Kabam, really. So this is arena-esque game mode where you have to use units to get rank rewards rather than earn units. But there we go. Weekly Essentia engagement event. So this is probably more something akin to, you just use your entries and you're going to be able to earn 5,500 Essentia even if you don't progress through the tower very much, because you get points for like, launching special attacks and landing hits on opponent. Power of Towers Realm event. 3-week Realm event to launch alongside towers. Climb towers in class towers to earn points. Yes, the skips count. Claim more points from Twitch drops and offers. Complete all Realm event milestones to earn rewards. Full standard side quest reward budget is placed here. 1 Warlock Ascension token and stretch milestones. There's going to be a new game mechanic as well coming to the game that quote unquote they will use sparingly, but it is ultimately Kabam's because I said so code. So they will be called rules of the contest that overrule every other ability in the game, and it is based on a system that they use for bosses like Ares and whatnot. And effectively it's just kind of like, you can call it a mega node, if you will, that kind of like overrules countering nodes. For instance, it can, make damage scale based on your challenger rating, for example, or disable level 3s. Or it can make it so, you can't do any damage unless X, Y, or Z is on. So effectively, rules of the contest, again, is just a euphemism for mega nodes, so to speak. In class towers, the following rules are present. Damage taken is adjusted based on challenger rating, again, which means that ascended champions are hugely important for this, which kind of sucks. I actually hate everything about Ascension. I just fucking think it's ruining the game. Class advantage makes no impact. Defenders cannot activate their special 3. Right, mastery loadouts, we know this. If you don't have what to do with your units, you can buy more mastery loadouts now, because of course you have to spend a ton of units for that. Fucking amazing idea, Kabam. Beating the clock is key component of towers. In class towers, the timer lasts 1 minute. In other towers, timers aren't always the primary threat, and that's going to be more so to do with challenge towers. Challenge towers effectively is a reworked Saga and class showcase type thing in this case. So we're not going to get those in a quest format. This is going to be basically the same thing. The big upgrade here is that this is permanent now. So, you know, a Saga showcase will never go away. So I do kind of like the fact that it's permanent and you can pick it up whenever you feel like it. However, not many of you will be happy to know that a Goblin piece, Stellar Forged Goblin, is associated with the Saga Towers. So whether you want it or not, you kind of have to do it this time around to get that Goblin smile. So Saga Showcase Tower, the rewards wise, again, I'm going to be honest, they're lackluster. They're effectively the Alliance War Showcase rewards. There's some 6-star stuff in it, a bit of 7-star 6-star, some shards, but the rewards are effectively a copy paste from previous Alliance War Showcases, so there's not a drastic improvement there. There's like 9,000 tier 5 Alpha Catalyst fragments, which again is not a lot. And you know, for a new game mode, a challenge version of a new game mode, this doesn't scream play me type of thing. You know, it really isn't that, but you know, it's something. Obviously I'll do it, I'll stream it, but I think Kabam could have done something more special here. There is unlimited potential to what challenge towers can be. While class towers would focus on beating the clock, challenge towers are much more open-ended. There are more challenge towers planned in July, less of a focus on challenger rating, more of an RPG interaction. Challenge towers provide a space to push your tower rating higher if your roster isn't fully developed. So there you go. And they are a permanent piece of content. Oh yeah, and Kabam's being very coy, teasing Act 10 at this point as well. So that's about it. That was hour and a half of a stream. I swear to God. Fuck my life, man. Anyways, see you soon, guys. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next one. Well, hello there. So we have just recorded a video. How are you guys doing? Alright, you need to put that music on. We have that on. We're gonna do the display capture, and we're gonna make a quick thumbnail, and then we're gonna do the incursions. Won't we? And then we're gonna do the incursions. We're gonna pick a nice it's fine. I'm gonna make a quick thumbie. No sales video? What do you mean no sales video? I talked about the sales a little bit. And if you're asking me, you guys know? So Spiker. Alright, so we're gonna pick this. Put it in the corner here. I'm just gonna make a little jambalaya of the picks. Da-da-da-da. And call it Tower Stream Recap. Towers Stream Recap. But yeah, no, this was a garbage live stream. I swear to God. This is one of the worst live streams with the largest amount of pointless yapping that I recall. I am not amused right now. But on the bright side, I get to play Incursions a bit. Because I always like Incursions. Incursions calm me down. And multiple times purchase thing is very suspicious. Of course it is. But at this point, I have kind of given up on the entire monetization thing because I have, you know, finally accepted the fact that Kabam has priced me out. So I'm not really all that, you know. Fast. Because, you know, Kabam is at this point given unlimited amount of opportunity for people to spend money and units to gain unlimited amount of resources. There are people with like 25 rank 5s or 20 plus rank 5s at this point. So, you know, just them, you know, giving it kind of like supercharging that further, it's like whatever to me. It's like it isn't fair. It has never been fair. It's getting less fair than ever, but what's the point to even like stress about it at this point? Alright. Alright. That's there. That is done. And that's uploading as we speak. Now I can connect my phone and we can play some Incursions. Let's see now. Oh, I can claim the drops. Do we claim the drops? Let's claim the drops. Let's claim the amazing drops. We got profile pictures and an emote. What's up, Torinsky? Everybody else? So I have gained all the value. Why I didn't have a side quest? What? Oh yeah, it's missing. Probably a bug. It's probably a bug. Oh, you have to buy a ticket for a side quest. I'm kidding. I don't know why. Well, I don't have to accident. I mean, I'm fine with that. But hey, welcome to the stream, everybody. Let's play the Incursions. Wait, what? All rewards earned? I didn't earn nothing yet. Okay, there's 15 zones. So we need Ascended Champions, right? And there's Unstoppable as a threat, I think. I mean, Null is probably a good shot for this. Mr. Gosh, I kind of want to pick up a Spiral, to be honest. I think it could be fun. Can you try arenas? My 3-star champions have adrenaline arenas. Alright, let's quit. I mean, might be a new mechanic. Might be a new mechanic, who knows? So I got Spiral. So we're going with a debuff count. We're going with the debuffy champions, I guess. I'm liking Blue Marvel. I think he's less than amazing. How about that? Alright, fine. Let's deal with that. For now. Alright. Let's just go have a bit of fun. That's fine. Enter solo. Hopefully you don't screw it up. The drops were literally 3 revives, like 5 or 6 refills, 2 profile pictures, and an emote. RPG threat is unstoppable. Fury burst incursions, hemsleep charge relic, buff cornucopia. Heavy attack. No damage whenever buff is gained. Arm burst. That time based on 40% up. Fury burst. And I guess basically I have 20% chance to grab the main second Fury buff. May need to change a bit. Do I go with hemostatic charge? Yeah, we're just gonna swap out champion and get a bleeder, I guess. I mean, Null can inflict bleeds too, right? No, wait, he doesn't. Oh yeah, he does. And there is special counter target opponent whenever non-damaging debuff on the opponent ends and a fury buff. Okay. So we're gonna go with that. Non-damaging debuff, and now I need to pick up a bleeder. Do I pick up a bleeder? Who will bleed somebody a lot? And it could be Zemo. Could be Hitmonkey. Hey, the numbers wants food. Thank you very much for your membership. Zemo doesn't stop on bleeds? Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, that's fine. And so does Null. Did you body punt it? Nah, screw it. I mean, if I had recalls on, this would be very fun. Oh, I didn't read the notes. It's fine, we just need to get to this. Okay, that's fine. Does he want to dupe? He works on dupe, but dupe help. I mean, it's nice to have, yes. Spectre incursions. Alright, sure. 15 zones. That unstoppable will be annoying. Yep, we're still gonna get rooted. Okay, that's fine. Start the next zone. Buff copiers and buff is probably nice. Yep. Okay, let's see what else we can take. And still need to get level 2. I mean, to be fair, where's that fatso at? Could try Doctor Strange, but he doesn't inflict any bleed. That's fine though. Dust again, she deals with unstoppable but quite slow. Intense fiber. Again, amplify. Wishes. Okay. We're gonna get that grit, so if we can spam reactivates. Send it sends our attackers when attacker activates special attack gain a grit passive for 5 seconds. That's gonna be kind of helpful. Do you have Valkyrie? I do, but I didn't think you can bring her there. So, if I can spam specials, should be good. Oh yeah, Dust should actually be good, if I can use her. Again, I didn't read the notes, to be honest. That is goddamn right. Might replace my spiral with her. Whoops. I'll leave it as this for now. Hey, what's up, Bullfighter? How are you doing? How are you doing? Oh,
Shut
George
up
is
and
here.
take my money.
At Outdoorsy 86 £10. Good evening and God bless you all.
Well,
Hope everyone is good and had a great day.
Thank you very much, kind man. Appreciate that. We just watched one of the worst Kabam live streams to ever exist. I genuinely...
Let's go, bub.
I just uploaded the video, by the way. I genuinely... Oh. I thought this was something better than that. 1 hacks. Well, so far I took hemostatic for bleeds, and whenever a non-damaging debuff expires, I gain a fury. Fair over time. Because these are just, I mean, this is probably not the best combo, but it should be kind of nice. With Null, especially for later rooms. It's just not like as instant as it is with oh, whoopsies. What the fuck? I parried that. Alright. You're gonna get it in the neck. But yeah, I picked hemostatic. And I picked Rage into Fury into Combat, or Rage into Combat, something like that. How it's called. And those are the first 2 hacks that I got. I'm gonna get 1 hack there. Might as well take some boss hacks there, I suppose. Again, say this, limited immunity. This kind of sucks for me. But I do want those. Optimist, and this also kind of sucks. Ah, I should be fine still. Shall sleep, watch story time with Kabam. I would not be able to do that because I genuinely got infuriated. And I'm gonna, again, this is not a personal comment towards anybody on that Kabam livestream, but a professional comment on the content. When I watch those live streams and the host in a span of 10 minutes says I 52 times, I'm not enjoying that content because I just don't give a shit. Like I don't care like which champion you likes the most. I don't care which game mode you likes the most or what is like the exact strategy that you use. Like you can mention it if you want, but you know, it's not kind of like why I watch those streams. And it really annoys me. Like, well, it's like it's me, I, and it's like, oh, you know, tell me the thing, and I'll figure out what I like. It was pretty bad. It was really bad. How do you feel to have a winner of La Palm's giveaway in your stream? Well. I think you're very special. Mojo? Yeah, Mojo should be actually quite good for this stuff. So we have like tenacity here, right? This should be fun. But hey guys, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the good buttons. And good things will happen to you. I almost forgot that this dude, like, bloody takes 2 years to throw that special. Just shut up and die. Shut up and die. This week we are not getting Mysterium for what? I mean, maybe not. But thank you very much, Outdoorsy. Thank you very much, Harsh. Thank you very much, the #1 Sue. And anybody else watching and supporting the stream. Love and appreciate you guys. Oh, whoopsies. Okay, I need to do some healing here. Not getting smacked in the facing. Oh, I should have probably done more of that. No CCP rewards? No, this is not a CCP stream. It literally says that in the title. My dude. All caps. Okay, debuff count, I like that. So we're gonna go with that. Null is a Siphon, it's unkillable. Yeah, I need to get that eventually. And there's a hack or something. Use it or lose it. Personal space regeneration. Alright, cool. I don't mind that. Let's go. I should have read the rest of the stuff. Okay, so who we're healing? Let's heal up the null. Null A1 to rank 5 white tiger. I mean, I'd do null probably. I have A1 null and I have A2 white tiger, and I really don't want to do A2 white tiger. One hit there and it's like immediate death. And now incinerate, ability power rate, unstoppable, unblockable attacks, basic attacks, I guess that. Let's do that. Nobody's gonna answer that outdoorsy, because nobody knows. Everybody dropped out of school. Nein, es ist erst 27. Oh wait, there's some sort of immunity thingy happening, right? When is the new spending event? 26th it starts until July 3rd. Power play, well-timed blocks, 5-second timer. Alright, fine with that. Let's see if it's passive or if it's a debuff. It's a debuff. Good. My baby Zemo putting in work, eh? Busy to gulag? Easy peasy. Busy to gulag. Kein Problem. So that's 4th of July? Yeah. It lasts from 26th till 3rd of July. I guess Kabam is trying to make some... Oh shit, I didn't mean to do this. Do I swap something? Debuff count, buff count. I could try Hitmonkey, to be honest. Because Spiral's not really working with any of my champs. Could try out Hitmonkey. Alright, fine, let's go Hitmonkey. Got some bleeds there. Should be fine. Kind of fine. No new drops? No new drops. Oh shit. Oh, roll. Champion rolls are reversed. Oh, but I can't beautify anything. That's fine. I have 2 skill champions. Might not be the best thing. Ah, well. Ah, loser. Rank 4 A1, should I rank 5 first? I love them both. Well, the one that you're guaranteed to eventually A2 is Hitmonkey, right? So, probably that. But it's up to you. It's up to you, buddy. Okay, so this is like a mutant room. Alright, so this is poisons, whatever. Which one of these is not metal? Okay. A2 Mojo hits hard? Probably. By the way, Oliver, kind of a good day today, no? Still have quite a lot of work to do after the stream. Did you guys know why there are so fewer streams? Eh? Do you guys know why I haven't been streaming as much? Do you guys want to know who is at fault? Or who you should seek out for your personal complaints and grievances? That person is right now. Okay, that's fine. That's on me. I was too eager. That person is right now in the Twitch chat under the username the Bullfighter. Have a go at him if you miss me. Toxic Siphon will be useful for later, but now... You'll pick a second chance, Toxic Siphon. Alright, fine, I guess we can do the Toxic Siphon for now. Who doesn't like it? Oh, why? It's because I work for Bullfighter's company. The rank 5 Fighter Woman or Sentinel? I mean, depends how much you care about prestige. If I didn't care about prestige, I would rank up Spider Woman. If you do... Okay, let's try out the monkey here. What are the notes? I should have looked into the notes. Haley, rank 4, Ruby Solver. Probably solar. Then again, Ruby has that brand new premium car smell right now, so... Yeah, okay, fine. Arm brakes, specials, ability, power rate, special augmentation. We don't really do arm brakes right now. So let's get 20% ability accuracy. Alright, fine, let's leave it there. Oh, we got Wongers. Prestige must now? In that case, no. Oh yeah, null. Oh shit, yeah, null is armor bricks. Whoopsie. Fighter flight, realizer. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna do you. Easy peasy. Am I back? Yeah, you're back. Bullfighter's on the tube now. Oh, look at him jumping around, trying to dodge. Plague Mind. Yeah, should be fine. Looks like it is waiting, but who's timed out for what long? Come on. I'm not getting my power drained here, lads. Yeah, this wasn't great. That Plague Mine sucks. Yeah, I'm gonna be forced to do this. I didn't even get my fury. Oh yeah, this was a bad fight, bad matchup. Okay, now just to make sure. Haha. Aha! So which one are we at? I don't think I have built up the best hack combo by the way, but we'll see. But we're getting a teeny bit. Oh, we can open some crystals at the end of the stream. That should be fun. Fine with that. I should probably say goodbye to one of my skill champions. 13 powered grace crystals. Well, let's get them then. What's up, LK MCOC? How are you doing? Not all elders are equal, apparently. Why? You're the best. Hope you are having a wonderful day. Well, thank you, Borachito. Appreciate that. And I am having an A-OK day. Armor. Come on. Think, Susan. Think. limited immunity, so we're gonna go with this. Or this, and this fine. Your rewards from EQ are much more than mine. Oh, yeah, prestige matters now. Look at that region. Monkey still doing monkey things. Oh shit, I wanted Zemo for this fight. Fuck. Ah, yeah, whatever. Yeah. That ISO burst mechanic is just way too slow. Swear to God. Like 90% of the fights, you never like get the benefit from it. Oh, look again. I'm earning Titan shards that I will not use for another 80 days. Since our antagonists. Well, I guess let's that skill one. It doesn't really matter to me though. Even Cosmic Science Tech, Mystic. It's fine, I guess that. But yeah, whatever. Alliance Coliseum last part. Yeah, I need to do that too. Oh shit, I didn't really want to change anything right now. So. Or do I? I mean, if only Sandman was ascended. To be fair, I think this could go hard. Do I stop it? Seam off on that? I think this would, because I can debuff them. There's going to be expiring debuffs. That's going to be ending Furies. Alright, fine. Let's see what happens. I'm waiting 80 days for my first item. Why? Yeah, I bet Mojos. I kind of want to test this out though. Okay, I know that hemstatic thing is not going to help me here, but... I mean, I probably should not have done this. I don't know, it might be a bit too slow, but probably safe. Okay. Little kill here. Lady's kind of annoying. And she's kind of annoying too, but it's fine. What's up, Dragon Man? Switch lines can't even do Coliseum. Ah, sorry, it can. Oh, I did not think I'll be punished for this, but okay. Fuck you. I mean, at the very least, we killed back full. But okay. I should have looked at the notes. Yeah, why not? Zemo would have been good for this. Come on, buddy. JJJ? Oh yeah, JJJ actually could be in theory quite good for this. But mine's like rank 2, so I wasn't gonna use him. Real hit. Well, look at that. He just died it there. That was nice and easy and quick fight. Striker, nope. Fasting, nope. Nope. I think this could kind of speed me up quite a bit. I mean, I might count it to book. I have tons of resources anyways. I think I primarily picked this for speed because after the opening parry, this has a chance, a solid chance to give me extra power. So that's the thought process there, kind of. Do you guys agree? So let's test out the theory here. See, it helps me to get to my special 2 quicker. And at this point, you know, she might as well be dead. Anything that helps me get that level 2 quicker. Let's speed this thing up. That kind of sucks now. Should have read the notes. Should have read the notes. Because I can't do Coliseum. Oh, poor baby. Do Incursions. Why are you not doing the Incursions? Let's do the armor break in case you pick up half of that. Why not right now? What's stopping you? I should have read the note on the fight. Should have read the notes. Okay, so reverse controls on this. Oof. Sorry, that was accident. I meant to use level 1. Oh, look at that. Next zone, we're getting some rank up gem stuff. We're about to get to open some nice crystals here. Okay, that sounds fun. I'm not sure on the nodes, but I am sure it will be just fine. Who can we heal here? Oh, whoops. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, again, I kind of like these Incursions, for instance, because I haven't used, like, Immortal Abomination and, like, whatever and stuff, so. You know. You get to use a wee bit different champions that you don't use daily, so. I genuinely enjoy playing Incursions. That and block on purpose because it's the right thing to do. In my oh yeah, I mean you can get him ascended though. You're guaranteed to get that Hitmonkey ascended. Power stings more power. I guess you can pick that. There's nothing else much better, I'd say. Okay, let's go with. Okay, let's read up the note. Ruder B used its special burst tranquilize long distance relationship. Alright, sure. Sounds like a job for Zemo. That's dank. I mean, I started a bit late because after the stream, well, I finished watching the stream first of all, and then I still oopsies. I still recorded a video and stuff, so I started a bit late, but yeah. I mean, so far these guys are doing well. JJJ has been a monster. Oh yeah, I have heard good things. You like the second or third person that says that John is good for this. Kind of wish I had him at like better rank. Actually, I need to check what kind of guy I have him. I don't know. Plague mind. I'll be fine. I love that now I can get to my level 2 quicker. Sorry, level specials quicker. So that helps out a ton. But hey, you guys can hit that like button, sub button, follow button, use those Amazon Prime memberships, and climb the high ground, and then you can send people to the gulag. Or you can get my bot to read your messages out loud the way you want. Alright, so Zod 10 completed. Let's go to the next ones. What are I gonna do? That's some tier 4 alpha stuff. Okay, cool. What do you do? Oh, I see maneuvers. Okay, that sounds good enough for now, though. I should have read the rest of it. But nobody got time to read it, right? Yeah, whatever, should be fine. Whoopsies. I highly recommend you just chill the fuck out here, lad. That was a scary whoopsie. What's up, Sohan? How are you doing? Shock special refund sounds fun. Special refund's good. Do a special refund, why not? Oh, this guy sounds like a wanker. Knockdown energy, friendly, conflicted. Alright, sure. What hacks are great for J. John? Probably the armor burst things, because he collects armor, so there are like 2 armor hacks. That all should be quite nice. You reverse soul bastard. Let's see what you got. Minor aspect nightmares, arms race, back resistance be like water. So that's... Oh, whenever I inflict debuff. Not damaging debuff. Okay. Yes, okay. Ah, sure. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. But, good enough. That is kind of a nice username. Can't deny. Look at that. Bits and bobs of tier 7 basic tracks. Do we need anything here? Large survivors hack? Yes, please. Swap anybody? No, thank you. Which hacks do I have? It's Executioner Bob. Ooh. Fucking amazing. What's up, buddy? I'll take picture just in case, but we have Hamstering Charge, Tie to Combat, Toxic Siphon, and Rage into Combat Relic, basically. Then we have Ascended Grid and debuff count, and then some of these thingies, whatevers. So, who are we beating up here? Alright, sure, that's gonna be a job for. How many quarters incursions? Oh. Should actually be a good idea. Should work nice. What's up, Chandu S? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Dust would cook with this, for sure. Unquestionably so, sir. I don't quite understand how am I getting so goddamn much of all of this, but okay, that was not nice. We're gonna need to revive on this one. Why wasn't he taking any damage? Was there some note that he should have been taking quite a lot more damage? Why wasn't he getting damaged? I'm gonna need to revive my Zemo. Okay, I'm gonna need a revive. Shame I didn't revive just before this. Quake or Silk. Alright, let's do the Quake. This is a very incursion set. It was kind of straightforward incursion setup though. So, both energy, we don't care about energy, null's fine. This kind will not work. This kind of gives extra benefits to Ascended champions, and you need side champs. I mean, if you can pick Heimdall, I'm sure he would work fine though. And so, okay, defended by sure, whatever. Where are the drops? What drops? Which drops in particular are you after? Shit. Oh, that's fine. So, what's up, Robbie? What's up, you little baby boy? What kind of bullshit teenage trend are you on now? Should Black Panther Civil War win? What for though? What do I need that Black Panther for? Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho. What's up, Saeed? Everybody else? Three zones left. Hi from Canada. Well, hello then. How are things in Canada right now? Do we get buff corn? Or do we get second chance? I don't want to take second chance. Let's just go with buff corn as well. I think buff corn is fine. Let's just have it a bit more fun. So the prestige is a bitch. Its ascension is a bitch. I have prestige 30 made things worse for sure. The things that made it a lot worse is what made things a lot worse? Ascension. I'd make my peace with ranking up for prestige. We actually could rank up, you know, from a list of like some good champions. Why I hate Ascension? I hate what it has done to the game. First of all, I hate, you know, the mechanic. I really don't like it. I'd much rather have had like 8 stars and shit. I don't like how heavily monetized it is. I do not like, you know, that there's no, for instance, reasonable way how to get new champions ascended. I don't like what Kabam has done with it. Let's put it like that. And then most importantly, I hate the fact that, you know, it affects challenger rating and prestige, and you just kind of have to rank up the ascended champions now. I mean, I'm sure it will. I mean, they are selling the Ascension crystals now. Those Empower crystals. You can buy them for 200 units. So, you know. Again, with enough money, you can have all the ascended champions already. And they sell new champion crystals. As in, like, the ascended ones. Which is the only way you can get new champions ascended these days. You also say Null worth rank 5? I think Null is worth rank 5. Yeah, I started playing it. I just dislike the game more after the Ascension, and I have noticed that I have started playing the game a lot less after the Ascension. I have never played less Polygons. I think it's been very, very shit for Polygons, for instance. And Polygons in general has quite a lot of problems too. And yeah, like I could rank 5 a champion. I have been able to rank 5 like 2 champions for like 2 weeks now, and I just can't really decide who because I don't want to rank up any of them, and it fucking sucks. Ah shit. Hey, what's up, Thekiryu? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Zone 13 completed. Only 2 zones left. Only 2 zones left. I wish I had Zemo for this, I guess. But okay, fine. Personal space. Tyranny. Tunnel vision. Tunnel vision. I mean, Zemo would have been fun for that. Whatever. Ruby's rotation. Level 1, level 2 type thing. Or level 1, level 1, level 2. Basically, yeah. You activate level 1, then you keep that passive on as long as possible. By baiting out as many opponents' special attacks as you can and stuff like that. And then you cash out with level 2. Check this out. Yeah, boy. You locked at 2 special bars? Yeah, because you need to activate level 1 first. Top pill. One second. Degeneration. Yeah, I guess why not. Да, конечно. Давай. Tide of Combat, Hemicyclic Charge, Toxic Siphon, Rage in Combat, Buff on. And then some random basics. So it's Tide of Combat and Rage into Combat there. Deserve to be more involved in the game? You deserve to be more. What do you mean, Terry? What do you mean, Terry? I deserve nothing, and I'm happy for what I have. Yeah, Biohazard, my ass. Blowing my new PC? Yeah, mine is starting to break down slowly. But I got new cables, so no more screen disconnect or phone losing, phone PC connection disappearing, because I got new HDMI, new adapter, new capture card. And we're about to open some stuff. Oh, we got the 7-star Incursion crystal. They really should have just updated the Incursion pool. Whatever. Okay, so, we can revive my baby. Wonderful. Team revive. But is it all gonna be mutants? Thank God not. Okay, so you got that. Armor break immunity. I don't like that. What do you got? Aggression armor up? Yeah, we can do that. Killing and bedding at home. Oh, the school's off. Ranty. It's June. There is no school. Oh shit. Oh fuck me. That was badass. Is that better? She's doing better? Yeah, she's doing better. She is doing just a okay, thank you very much. Plague Mind. Alright, cool. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And then we're gonna do this. Haha. I didn't read it, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so what are we gonna do here? Oh yeah, that's fine. What do you do? That's fine. We should be fine. We should be fine with this. We're gonna use this to try and heal with Zemo. An 8. What do you guys say? Was that okay? Was that a reasonable fight? Hey, this guy dirty. Don't choose beans for all. Alright. I mean, it was kind of fun. No! It's only because he didn't throw the special. I swear to God. It was very fun, but it's only like he messed me up because he didn't want to throw his special. Uh-oh, shouldn't have blocked that. But it's fine. You can use unascended champions. Alright, single champion rebuy. Okay, we got one more. We got one more set in for Zemo. Oh, this is perfect. This is the perfect time for this guy, by the way. Try and defend his block. Okay, okay. This should be fun. It's a sin to swear to God. No. Okay, let's do this. Okay, that was kind of cheeky by there. I mean, theoretically speaking. I mean, Zemo is kind of stupid with this node combo, by the way. He's kind of dumb. Aggression press. Okay, let's go for one more. Shall we? So check this out. Whatever. Is that the hamster charge node? Amongst other things, yeah. Okay, your last chance to check my notes. Thermostatic charge, tide of combat, toxic siphon, rage into combat, buff gone. And then we have attack surge, debuff count, yada yada yada. Power sting reinforcement, special refund, buff upgrade, fury. And we are done here. Conclude the incursions. Oh, look at that. I got a refill. I'm like a few days away from Bong. So we got 30 of these bad boys. Come on, Ascension, something. It's been a while. Give me something good. 0 of, and not even a 7-star. Come on, Ascension, something. Dude. Not even a single collective improvement. This has to be like the worst set of 30 of these that I have opened. I got 20 Mystic collective points. Alright, fine, whatever. Then we got one of these. I mean, might as well take that. And 7-star, yeah, sure, whatever, whichever one. Angela, sure. We got 20 of these are nice to have. That does matter, and nothing really matters here. 233k Titan shards left over. Can open a few of these, but I mean, why not at this point? And not a single improvement to anything. Oh, very nice. All max 6 champs. Yeah, right. As if I'm gonna spend units for Titan shards. And okay, I'm gonna claim that at some point later. Alright, cool. Some workout points or whatever. I think that is for side quest, which I'm gonna deal with later. And one more. Come on, it's an ascension. Yeah, right. And what the hell is that? 10 workout points, of course. That's probably the lowest one you can get. But that's it for now, I think. I think that is it for now. Alright, there's a new arena that you need to check out, like a workout skill arena somewhere. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Bye bye.